We are here to talk about this is your Yahoo Store, and this is your Yahoo Store on speed. And, you know, I love talking about the Yahoo stores, and I love everything about them, and it's going to be a lot of fun to kind of show you some tricks that you can do and some little things you can do, and it's just a whole lot of fun. So if you're just joining us, my name is Shauna Siegel, and I'm the CEO of One Choice for Your Store. If you have any questions, I am alone today, but feel free to email us, support@1c4y.com, Twitter. I'm Shauna Siegel if you have questions after this. But during the actual webinar, if you can put your questions in the questions box on the right-hand side, I will do my best to get to your questions as soon as possible. And for those of you who are just joining us and you don't know who I am, I always like to start our webinars giving you a little bit of background of who I am. And it was in 2000 that I started my first Yahoo store, and I'd like to say that I was this picture-perfect mom working from home and cooking and cleaning and everything else, but really that's not the case, and it was me pulling out my hair in my pajamas. And I can tell you right now, I am at home in my pajamas just like I started out my first business. I just love working from home. I love working in my jammies, and sometimes I pull out my hair because my kids were in the background screaming and yelling, and he's touching me, and thankfully the kids are a little bit older. So I'm also a Yahoo Small Business Partner. I host the New Life event, which is coming up in September. It's 30 webinars in one weekend, and it's completely free, so make sure you sign up at the New Life event. I also host a radio show on Webmaster Radio every Monday night called Ecom Experts, and I love talking about SEO, and I really love talking about Yahoo stores. So it was about 6 months ago that I got the idea, actually it was about 7-8 months ago I got the idea about the Now What project. And what was happening is people were opening up for business, and then they were just getting really confused. You know, how do I get traffic to my site? How do I get sales? How do I even increase conversions? And so I would be talking to these people, and they're pulling out their hair because they're not sure what they should do. They don't know the steps that they should take after they open up that Yahoo store. So I started this website called One Choice for Quilting, and I've been documenting the entire process on nowwhatproject.com. I have to admit, I got a little stale on that coming starting in May and June, and or actually maybe it was June and July, yeah. But I had ankle surgery, and so I wasn't able to keep up with it as much as possible, and I do apologize for that. And then we had a big wedding, and yeah, all kinds of stuff. But I can tell you that the store, you know, we've been working really hard, and we've had a dip this month, as many of you have had. Many of you are having dips, especially right now. And thank you for the congratulations. It was actually our son that got married. We got married in our backyard last year, and this year our son got married in our backyard. It was really, really cool. So anyway, so we had this Now What project, and we've been working on this. And as you can see, you know, our first month, we only had 400 in sales. Then we went up to 3,000, almost 8,000, 11,000. Last month, we had a great month because our supplier had a sample spree that we got a hold of, and we were able to really promote that and get in a lot of sales. My goal has been to get 60,000 in 6 months. I'm so close, I can taste it. But I have about 5 days left to make this goal, and I'm not sure if I'm going to make it, but I'm really going to try. But we're at 52,000 now for about 5.5 months, and it's been a really, really great journey. And as I've been documenting it and talking about it through webinars and through our radio show, I happen to show some of the back-end stuff that we programmed into this site that just made it absolutely awesome, because I started this site working nights and working weekends because that's generally what our clients do. You know, they work a full-time job, which I have to do for One Choice for Your Store, and then on the nights and weekends they're trying to open up this site and trying to figure out what they're going to do. So I programmed all these different things to make life so much easier. And everybody kept saying, can you show us the programming you did? Can you show us what you did? Can you tell us more about it? So that's what today is all about, because I made this not only a Yahoo store, but a Yahoo store that was on speed, because I don't have the time to work this. So I needed it to be working smarter and not harder. So some of the things we're going to go through is Catalog Manager and updating products like to 30% off and how it adds up to another, adding new items, placing one product in multiple categories with just a few clicks, and talk about some of the automatic meta tags and item descriptions and related items that really help to make this Yahoo store on crack. So I'm going to go ahead and close out the weather. What we've done is I'm going to go ahead and show you the site, and I do need to give you a little bit of a fabric lesson. I do apologize, but it's to help you understand how we got this store to be on speed. I really wanted to call it Yahoo Store on crack, but I just thought that that name didn't sound too good. So, all right, there's usually when it comes to fabric, there are a couple of things that remain the same. You've got charm packs. These charm packs are 5-inch squares, 5 by 5-inch squares, and they're the exact same except, you know, it's a different fabric line. And then we have what's called jelly rolls, which are these rolls of fabric that are cut up. Layer cakes, which are 10 by 10 squares. We have what's called bundles, where it's got bundles of 1/4 inch or not 1/4 inch, 1/4 yard or half yards of fabric. We also have Moda yardage, which is a brand name called Moda, and this is like the yardage that you can buy. And then we have what we consider to be kind of yardage. It's not Moda, it's a mixture of everything else. And so understanding how we have these different types of fabrics will help you to understand how we've really encouraged this. To make it so we're working smarter, not harder, because we run into a lot of stores that maybe they have 6 different types of products, but there's different variety within those products. And so that's what we wanted to figure out, is how could we make this really kick some major butt. All right, so one of the things that we've been able to really use towards our advantage is the new Catalog Manager. So I'm going to go ahead and go into Manager, and I'm going to go into Catalog Manager. They really upped up this Catalog Manager. I think it was about a month or 2 ago, and I am in love with the new catalog. Oop, that's Customer Manager. I apologize. We want Catalog Manager. There we go. Okay. They've really upped this, and it's a lot of fun working with the new Catalog Manager because there's so much that you can do. Let's do a for instance. Right now, I need to make a We Folks, which is a collection, 30% off. So what I can do is I can just put in a percentage here and do a search for We, and I'm going to get the We Folks bundle, and I'm going to get this little section page here. Now, that's for the wildcard search. Now, let's try it again, putting in We Folks, and see how nothing comes up at all. So that's why you use the percentage for a wildcard search. So I'm going to go ahead and try that again and put it as We. And we see this bundle here, and we want to make it 30% off. So we can just click it and hit Edit Selected. And we can change prices, sale prices, make it 30% off. We can actually do, let's put discount off existing price. So we had it at 20%, but now we want to make it at 30%. We could do so here. Let's bring up another one of the ones that we have. Let's do Trick or Treat. Okay, and come on now, come up with me. All right, so here's our Trick or Treat. We've got the section page. We could easily make changes here. I've got an advanced search here, and I can find products that are already 30% off. I can shop by brand. I can do it by half yard. I can look up by jelly rolls. I can put in whatever I need to here. So let's say we put in, if the jelly roll equals yes, put in a search, and this shows me all the jelly rolls that are within our website. So there's a lot here that you can do with the Catalog Manager that we were not able to do previously. I can mark this down and show what I want to put here. For instance, if you notice, I have little yes, no's for bundle, charm pack, jelly roll, kits, layer cakes, Moda yardage, and yardage, and these little yes, no variables control everything else going on within the store. It's a lot of fun. So I'm going to go ahead and take you into the back end and show you exactly what I mean. So we're going to go into Store Editor. I'm going to grab a drink real quick. All right, and we are going to go to Moda. And we're going to go down to that WeFolks here. So here we have the WeFolk products that are within the site. So let's say that I need to make all of these products that have the WeFolk 30% off. Most of you know that all you have to do is click Edit All, and then up here you can put in 30% discount, and the prices change. And then we can click on Update. Now that made every single product in here 30% off. Now, we have a section called 30% off fabric. Most times what Yahoo Store owners will do is they'll actually go in here and copy each one and paste it into the 30% off fabric. And so that's what will happen. However, what we've done is we've got the Yahoo Store on speed. So we're going to go back here and let's just pick out this jelly roll. All I have to do is click Edit and scroll down here to 30% and hit Yes, hit Update, and now I go to my 30% off fabric and it's going to show up here at the very bottom, right here under 30%. Of course, this is all done alphabetized, and it's all done for me, thankfully, because our Yahoo Store is on speed. So all I did was just hit Yes. That's all I did. I just hit Yes. Now, let's say that I wanted this to show up under What's New or What's Hot. Well, our Yahoo Store is on speed, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and click on WeFolks, click on Edit, and under here I've got What's Hot, yes, and then I've also got another one for What's New. And so here's our What's New, and it's already marked under there. Well, let's just get it off of there because it's not hot and it's not new. So if I go over to the live site and I click on, look at What's New or What's Hot, this has got a lot of stuff on it. I got to clear this out. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad. And normally, just so you know, I do this with a database upload feature that works in a snap. So here's our product under What's New. Well, this product is actually 4 months old. We don't want it to show under What's New. So what we have to do is go to What's New, hit No, hit Update, and it removes it from that category. So there's a lot of different things that you can do with that basic Yahoo Store or with the Yahoo Store to kind of help you with all of this different programming. As a matter of fact, I want you to look down here. It says, we love jelly rolls from Moda, and it gives a big description. All right, well, let's go look at another jelly roll. And let's go look at this one. We love jelly rolls from Moda. They're so much fun. Now, normally with the basic Yahoo Store, what you would do is you would have to put in that description every single time that you put in this type of product. However, with the Yahoo Store on speed, what we've done is we have put into the programming, if this item is a jelly roll, then I want you to use the jelly roll description. So now I can scroll down here to jelly roll descriptions, and it says, we love jelly rolls from Moda. And here's that little description that's showing up at the very end. Now, we don't want to show that description on every single product and be the only description that shows up. That's not what we want, because now we've got duplicate content on multiple pages. So what we do instead is when we have this new line that comes out, then we try to put in a description that goes along with it. So this one is, if you love Dilly Dally, wait until you meet it, and then it starts over with that description. And you don't want to use this if you have thousands of products, because that's really not going to help. Then maybe you might want to do jelly roll 1 description or jelly roll 2 description, or you might want to do different descriptions for that. But what's really nice is I can come in here, I can change this, and I can update all 50 of the jelly rolls descriptions. So if I find that maybe some of it's not working or it's not going correctly or maybe our customers are getting confused, I don't have to go through every single product and update that description. I can just do it through this variable. And that's where we're talking about the Yahoo Store on speed. As you can see, I've got, remember those yes, no's if it's a layer cake? So here's what happens. If it's a layer cake, it gets this, you know. If it's a scrap bag, it gets that type of message. If it's yardage, it gets this message. As a matter of fact, even like I've put it down even more so that if it's a Moda bundle, it says something completely different than any other bundle. And I just keep making these so that it really helps to make my time working smarter, not harder. So if we were to go in and add a new item, we would just go in here and click edit, and we would mark down that yes, it's a jelly roll. Yes, it's new. Yes, it's what's hot. And then we would click on the update button, and it's going to show up not only underneath the collection itself, okay, so it's showing up here, but it automatically put it under jelly rolls. There it is. It's already put it under what's hot. If we click on what's hot, there it is, right here. If we click on what's new, it will put it in there automatically. So yes, exactly. You know, Jeanette's saying I could see using that same content for creating custom options for multiple products. Absolutely. You know, you can kind of go with that concept of going, okay, so I see how this is working and how it can help me with my store. Because, you know, the thing is that you guys are working so hard. You don't want to spend more time on your store, which is why I love Yahoo Store on Speed, because there's so much you can do with it. You know, I can say that a product is this, this, and this, and put it in one time, and it throws it all over the place where it needs to be. You know, and it's not difficult on the front side. Now, the programming on the back side, you know, I'm going to show you how I did this so you can see. Let's go into the items and look at how we did that. So we're going to go look at the tab body, and you can see that in the back-end programming, if any of you are used to the RTML, it says if jelly roll, then do this. If layer cake, then do this. If charm pack, then do this. And it keeps going down through the different types that we have, saying grab this description, grab that description. You know, if it's, whether it's yardage or Moda yardage, grab it and put it this description in. And we use that to help us with it. And so it's just a kind of, you know, if you are familiar with RTML, you can do the same thing. If this, then that. And it's really been so very helpful, especially, you know, because things are just absolutely crazy. And when we add products, I don't have time to do this by hand. Now, what I'm going to show you next week is how you do all of this through one database upload file. And it's a lot of fun. It's really easy. I'll just give you kind of an example of the last one I uploaded just to kind of show you what we're going to go over next week. But I put in here the ID, the price, the code, the name, if it's a jelly roll, if it's a charm pack, if it's a layer cake, put in the collection, the designer, if I want it to go under what's new, what's hot, and what path do I want it to go to. So all of this I just upload. All of this I just upload, and that's it. It's done. You know, and you can do this with a custom store. You can do this with a basic store. You would need to make copies of the templates, the basic templates, and then start working on that. You just come down here and make copies of the templates. But it's a lot of fun. It's really a lot of fun to be able to do this. And I'll write up an article on, if you're doing the RTML, how you could do those product descriptions. You know, for the sorting out on those pages, I'll go ahead and show you what I'm talking about there. We have this thing that's called shop by feature. So, you know, I can even put shop by cut or shop by style and create a whole other system. So when it says shop by cut, if it says if charm pack, grab all the charm packs. If jelly roll, grab all the jelly rolls. If layer cake, grab all the layer cake. So this is all a bunch of pricing. I also have shop by price if 30% off, if on sale, show them, if what's hot, if what's new, if what's coming. You know, there's all kinds of different ways that you can do this to help you work smarter, not harder. And so that's really a lot of fun that I like to show people. Now, the other thing that I really like, and we're going to go into another aspect here. Let's go back to Amelia, because I think Amelia is just absolutely gorgeous. There's things that you can do to also automate stuff on this home page, on this page here. Let me show you a for instance that we were able to do. Underneath all the Amelias, this is a collection, okay? Customers can't really tell what fabrics are within each collection. So now what I did is when you click on the item page, it says view the collection, and this little image opens up. Now, the normal way of doing this, okay, the normal Yahoo Store way of doing this would be to upload this same picture how many different times? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4 different times. So we'd have to go to each page, click edit, put in that image. Or the Yahoo Store on Speedway is that we go in here and we just upload it right here on the section page. And what we say is to each of these different items, go up and grab that collection image and show it on these pages. I love that. Do you know how much time that saves? You know, if we look at one of the ones that have a lot more into it, let's look at, let's say, Strawberry Fields. Here we've got 17 different fabrics, and we don't want to upload that picture. So if I click edit, you'll see collection image is blank right there. The back-end programming is basically saying go in, go up to the category page, and grab that collection image. So if I go to the category page, under collection image, there's that image that we're showing. And it's really easy to add multiple variables to a page. The thing is, though, is that you have to follow it up behind that with some programming. So let me go ahead and show you how I added those things. So first of all, I'm going to go into Manager, and I'm going to go into Catalog Manager. And we're going to click on Manage Tables. All right, so underneath here, you've got custom attributes. So as you can see, I've created custom attributes for Moda Bundle, Date Added, Collection Image. By the way, this Date Added is only for me. This Date Added is just for me to understand when did I add this product for the first time to our store. Because there are times when, you know, after 4 months, I put the products, after a collection's been on for 4 months, I put it in 30% off. Or 3 months, sorry. I put it in 30% off because there's new collections coming out every month. The problem is sometimes we'll get in a collection that was maybe came out 5 months ago, but it's hot. And so I wanted to be able to say, okay, this is the date I added it to the store. And that way I know, should it be on sale? Should it not be on sale? This could be really, really helpful for a lot of you who are wondering, you know, God, when did I add that product to the store? Is it stale? What's happening to it? So if we wanted to do that, we would just click on Add New Attribute. We put in the attribute name. I'm going to go ahead and change this name a little bit so that way I can create one with you. And I'm just going to call this Date Added to Store. And the format is going to be text, and you can look and see what the different ones are, but we could put in a medium, a big, a number, you know, yes, no, an image, whatever we needed here. We can also put if it's required, okay? And then we could put in the default value if we want to, and a description. I always like to include a description because that way when you're on the item pages or you hire somebody, you can put that in there. So date added to store, description, this is when we added the product to our store. And just click Add. And it's loading, and it's loading. We're on a T1 line. We have to pay $500 a month for this extremely slow internet. I apologize. All right, so this has been added. We hit OK. Everything looks good. Now let's go into our item. Let's look at this bundle. We're going to click Edit. And at the very bottom, we've got date added to store. Okay. So somebody had the question, well, what if I just wanted to add it in the actual text? You can do that too. Let me go ahead. We've got this. See, we've got it date added to store. And if we click on update, that will take care of that. Let's go back into Catalog Manager and let's remove this variable and show you the difference. Somebody asked if I use a different table for different manufacturers and products, or they're all the default. Personally, I just work with one default because I just feel like that's easier for me. There are some things here that I'm not going to use, like for notions, I don't need to know, the manufacturer part number, or I don't need collection image, but that's okay. To me, it's just so much easier just to put default table on everything, just to make it easy. Your store might be different. And then the other person asked, they just got late into the webinar, are we going to have a rebroadcast? Yes, I'm recording all of this and I will be sharing it with you. So what Julie was saying is, can you do this in variables? Absolutely you can. You can go to every single page and click Edit, and then click New Property, put in the property, put in text, hit Continue, and now it's back on this page again. However, do you really want to do that to 1,000 products? Not usually. So that's where you go into your Catalog Manager. And you can create as many attributes that you want to here. And the difference is that something like date added, that's just for me. I don't need a programmer. I don't need anybody else to add that information except for me. However, for collection image, and we want it to show up on the actual page, well, then what we need to do is actually go into the back end. So like I'm going to go in here under the templates. Let's go to item body, and I've got the order table, and then I've got this which says if test at collection image, then pull this image, do the click to enlarge, do all that good stuff. And if there's not a collection image, I want to show the buy safe guarantee. All right, perfect. So let's go look at something that doesn't have a 30% off image. Now it shows that buy safe guarantee there instead. So that was important to show on items where we're not putting in collection images. Now imagine if you had to do all this by hand. It'd be a major pain in the booty. You don't want to do that. So the other things it does, kind of automatically is grabbing up you may also enjoy. It's grabbing up our view recently items. That's all done automatically. As a matter of fact, even if I go to the live site here and I look at a product and do the page source code, it's also grabbing up the meta tag name, the meta tag keyword, and the meta tag description, all from the product automatically, because we didn't want to have to do each and every single product by hand, especially because the product stays in our site for maybe 3 months and it's gone again. So really it's like we're not going to just go do custom on all of those. We'll use the automatic system. Now, if you've got a product that, oh, wow, that was big. Sorry, just shook the whole house. I better check on that weather. So I'm going to check this on the side, sorry. But if you have a product that has been in your site, it's kind of like a long-standing thing, it's one of your best sellers, then you might want to go in and override some of that to make the keywords, to make the meta tag description, to make all of that stand out a little bit more, okay? That's what you want to do if you have these products that are going to stay a while. I would also work on, if you have products that are going to be in your site for a long time, unlike these types of products, that you work on some of those custom descriptions. constantly work on those and putting those, work on those descriptions, making them unique content. One of the ways that we've built this site is not only through our content, but through our social media efforts. People always say, well, how did you build the site to 50,000, in 5 months? I just want to check the weather real quick. Oh, good, it's on top of us now. All right. So if I lose it now, I think we've got through most of this and we'll be okay. That's the good news. Okay, I apologize. I'm not sure where I was at with this. Oh, okay, so you want to put in those custom descriptions. So the way that we built this site is, just so you know, we've only spent $2 a day in advertising. What we focused on is our content, our blogging, and our social media efforts. That's it. We're paying $2 a day on Facebook, but we're looking at our social media efforts, we're working on our blogging, we're working on our content to really make this site go. And I can show you, most people are like, are you sure you're not using Google AdWords? No, and let me show you. If I go into our store and I click on references, you can see here what's going on with Google. It's been a very slow and steady rise, and that's what's going to happen to new stores. As you can see, this rise is getting up a little bit faster than what was happening here. Now, the reason for that, sandbox. Our site wasn't old enough to play with the big kids. Now we're starting to come out and play with the big kids, and we're moving on up. This isn't any from advertising or anything like that. It's just good, natural content. One of the other things I can show you is I was blogging all the time. We were doing really good with our blogs, and then I had the surgery. And then, you can see that little dip. And it hurts, when you keep that effort up, you have to keep it going. I've been blogging on a daily basis now, and it's coming back. That's really wonderful. I'm thinking of actually holding a contest for Yahoo Store owners, and y'all have to tell me if you think this is a good idea. But there's a site, it's called the National Blogging, and you have to blog every single day. Every single day. So I'm thinking of holding our own contest to have store owners posting every single day to their blog. I don't know. You guys tell me in the comment section if you think that's a good idea. And the reason why I love our blog so much is because we are able to interact with customers. For instance, one of our customers had a brand new way, or not brand new, but to me it was a different way of working on their quilt. So I asked her to create a tutorial for us. I didn't have to create the content. The customer did it for us. She took pictures, she showed things off, and for a lot of the businesses out there, you can get your customers involved and send them a little thank you gift for the same thing. If you're not sure how you can do it, throw out to me what you're selling, and I'll give you some ideas on how you can, put this method to use. We even made sure that there was a printable guide that they could print out. We've increased Facebook fans and reached out to our Facebook fans by having a Facebook Fan of the Week. And we give them a small gift for being part of our Facebook fan. They come in and they tell us all about themselves and how did they start quilting and when did they start sewing and what's their favorite type of fabric. This is all good keywords for the store. So this is the kind of stuff I want you to start doing. Have a Facebook Fan of the Week. Ask your customers to share. Then I'm posting something. Join us for a sew along. So what I've done is I've taken this industry and I've said, okay, people like to get together and sew. How can we get together and sew online? And it started the Quilting Book Club. So if you have there's ways that you can build this part into your store and create your own social presence. Somebody said that they were selling, I believe, invitations, Well, why not have something where you come up with the best invitation idea or the best party idea, and you do that all month long, or it's 4th of July next month and we're going to have an invitation get along where we're all going to create our own special 4th of the July invitations. There's lots of things that you can do to kind of build yourself around this. If you're selling pet products, you could do something where everybody's going to learn how to teach their dog how to sit. And then the next month, they're going to teach their dog how to roll over and have people submit videos of them doing it. There's all kinds of different ideas that you can have. I know that we've got someone in here that sells wine, you know, making your own wine kits. Have customers where you have them make a different wine each month, a wine along, you know, or, you know, have people submit their own different recipes that they've used. All of that gets more and more people along and gets them more excited. The thing that we've used quite a bit is also using up giveaways. The giveaways have been wonderful for us. Just to kind of talk to you about, let's scroll down. Let's look at the comments here. Our last giveaway that we did, let's take a look. Oh, that was for half square triangles. I apologize. This was a tutorial that I did taking pictures on how to do something. And let me tell you, I would like to say here, if you look up how to do a half square triangle on Google, okay, half square triangle. Let's see, we've got over 1 million different results on half square triangles and how to do them and the best way to do it. But you know what? We did it our own way. We put our unique spin. We put our personality in it. And the results is that people were going, wow, that's great. Oh, I look at this. I'm just too lazy. Oh, I use this ruler. Oh, I have, you know, I've got links on how to do this myself. And it was a great conversation, even though this whole half square triangle thing has been talked about over 1 million times, almost 2 million, but it hasn't been talked about by you. So if you have invitations and you're thinking, oh, well, everybody knows how soon they're supposed to send invitations. Well, you haven't told them how soon. And, you know, Wendy, you know, if we've got the wine, you know, there may be 1 million sites on there on how to do something very specific. But are you telling your customers? Because they trust you to talk to them. And sometimes it's about sending them, you know, to other tutorials. So let's go look at that last giveaway because this was a big one. Gorgeous fabric giveaway. All right, so let's look at our comments. And our comments are right here. 688 comments for our last one. Now the first time, I did a giveaway, I think I had like 10, you know, and it slowly starts going up. And the way that I've seen people build it is you give them 5 ways to comment, okay? Leave your fabric by answering this question and make it fun. We gave away a fabric collection called Hometown. So I said, where is your hometown? Another time I said, tell me, how did you start sewing? What, you know, how did you get started? If you think about those kind of questions, they're also adding more great content to your webpage. Because everybody's talking about the first time that they did this. So when was the first time that you started making custom invitations? When was the first time you started training? You know, what was the first dog you remember training and what was the process? Or when was the first time you created your own bottle of wine? These are all questions to help get people involved. Then you say, hey, follow the blog. You know, there's this a little plug-in. Follow us on Twitter. Go to our Facebook page and like us. And if you decide to tell your friends about the giveaway and blog about us, that's great too. So now we have bloggers that are actually going out there and they're putting our website and a link to our website. And this is really great. Not everybody is going to do it, but here we've got one, Dot. She posted it on her site right there. And if we go down a little bit more, we'll find a little bit more. Some of them included, oh, I already follow the blog. And what it's doing is bringing links to your site. Plus, not only that, it's telling their friends about this different thing. And now people who didn't know about you are getting to know more about you. Let's look at the Facebook fans. We have over 2,000 Facebook fans. I can go in here and I can talk to them and say, hey, just got this in, or look at this tutorial, or, you know, gosh, I've got people that are posting and saying this is a great giveaway, or, you know, ask them, talk to them and be personal too. Pulling up through the drive-through window of Dairy Queen for a little more sweetness in my day. How about you? What are you doing? You know, and we got 10 comments here, and, you know, people are talking and telling us about their day. And this is how we built this store, not having to focus on all that advertising, which I'm not saying, hey, you know, don't advertise your store, but I'm giving you another option. And this way has helped us to work smarter, not harder. Smarter, not harder, okay? Because that's what we want to do. We don't want to constantly be fighting with the search engines and watching every moment, and you know, so that's why I focused on the social media aspects and writing good, solid content. Now, Jeanette has a great question. Can you estimate about how many hours a week you spend marketing, fulfilling the orders you get? Is if only you were doing everything? Ooh, I will have to say that I've had to I had to hire somebody full-time to come in. Actually, she's 32 hours. She's a real wonderful friend of our family. I basically call her my daughter. Her daughter was born on my birthday, so I really have a special bond. She works about 32 hours. But you also have to understand, you know, we're also doing, last month we did 268 orders, but items sold was 1,394. That's a lot of fabric. That's a lot of fabric to cut or to, you know, to package up. So as far as marketing goes for this particular business right now, what I do, I would say I probably spend about 2 hours a day on the marketing side. And when I talk about the marketing side, I'm talking about I go through and update some of the contents. Then I will go in and I'll do the Facebook. I try to do that, you know, twice a day. Sometimes I don't get to. We were really doing well on Twitter with some of our younger crowd and doing a really good job there. But ever since the surgery, I've kind of had a hard time with Twitter, and it just was too much and it's overwhelming, and the medications I was on, which is a shame because we were doing really well on Twitter. But a blog post, some of the blog posts I can think of right away. One of the things that I do, I have to write down everything on a to-do list or it's completely gone. I will completely forget about it. So I just have a regular spiral notebook and I put in, you know, Wednesday, July 27th, Thursday, July 28th. And when I come up with ideas for the blog, I can come up one day with 5 ideas and then the next day I can't remember what those ideas are. So I put them in my book and I say, okay, today you're going to talk about the webinar, but tomorrow you're going to write an article about Google meta tags. And for the One Choice store, that's Thursday and things are going off 30%, so you're going to write about the 30% off. Today we're going to talk about the next month kit for the Quilting Book Club. And so I'll come up with all these great ideas at one time, and I have to put them either in an idea box or actually assign them to my to-do list. Now, one of the ways, which is really cool, way that I kind of figured out to do is go in through Google Calendar. And you can also, like if you come up with an article, let's say that I came across this half square triangle. I thought it was really great and I wanted to feature it on our site or I wanted to feature it on Facebook. Then I can just go ahead and link this page to my Google Calendar and it will send me you know, what is your things to do today, or you could set up alerts and do that sort of thing because, you know, sometimes you do get lost on ideas. All right, so I'm going to come back over here. Can I answer more questions for you about whether it's the Now What project, how we built the site, or some of the back-end programming that we've used to, you know, really make things working smarter, not harder, or the catalog manager? You know, talk to me about what I can do here because this is, you know, this is really the new, I just love it. I just absolutely love it. It's so wonderful and I love it. I love the new catalog manager. I've been playing with it and having all kinds of fun. And next week I'm going to show you how to use this little upload download feature, and we're going to download everything out of our store. We are going to do a big upload and put in multiple products in at one time. I'm going to show you how to do the product URLs all at one time. So easy, so easy. We're going to go through a lot of the database upload stuff. All right. Okay, very good question. When we delete a product, do we redirect the URL, and if so, how? Okay, when we have products that go out, there's three different, I hate to say this, is actually three different categories we have to put it in. We have to put it in out, and as it will never be made again. Out of stock, which means they're still making it, we can get some in. Or I put it on hold, which is I don't know if we're getting it in or not. Now, when that product goes out of stock, you could redirect them to go to other pages. There is a custom programming feature. It's called C4 Redirect. I don't like to use redirects that much, though. The problem is that when your customers are expecting to come somewhere and they get redirected, then Google might think that you're just trying to kind of spam it. And you're trying to trick them. So I, even more so, have been more careful about those redirects. But what you would normally do with the C4 redirect is you would just add a new property, C4 redirect, put in the page that you want it to go to. You can also do that with, you know, plain HTML in the head tags too. But again, be really, really careful of that. You really want to be careful of that. Now, if you've got great search engine rankings, now what you might say is out of stock, but check out this product. That might be something that works for you, or check out this that's similar, or something like that. That might be a real good way to do it. Jonathan wants to know, how can I start learning RTML? There is actually Y Times publications, and I'll be completely honest with you. I had, of course, I had some programming background, so for me this was real easy to pick up, but this is how I learned how to learn RTML, is I bought his RTML books back in 2000, and it was just so very helpful. You know, their RTML Mega Pack, the RTML 101, the custom templates, deconstructing Y Times, the Y Store Tips and Tricks second edition. That was a very, very good book. It's got a lot of different practical techniques. One of the things I've been talking to the author about, and we're just trying to see if there's any market for it, is taking this particular book here, which, you know, teaches you how to do an add to favorites or a meta tag or breadcrumbs, and turning it into videos and showing step by step how to do exactly what it says in the book, because unless you're real familiar with programming, this will look like a bunch of blah 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 blah. So I thought it might be good to create some videos together with this that kind of work, so that way when it says add to favorites, you've got, ooh, excuse me, I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm yawning so much. It could be the rain. You've got an actual video that shows you how to do that. So anyway, really great books, lots of good information. Will that also include adding multiple products to multiple sections? Can you help me with what you mean, Jeanette, on that one? Because the way that we did the multiple products to multiple sections in the back end of this was using all the yes, no features. And what I'm going to do is show you how I use that. Let's see. So, for instance, if I say yes, it's a jelly roll, or yes, it's a layer cake, it automatically will go in there and put it under jelly rolls. It will automatically put it under layer cakes. If we wanted it to, and we could even make it show up by the shop by brand. So, but I'm actually going to put together a shop by designer because that works too. So if you want to add a product to multiple categories, should you use the yes, no flag? Yes, if you have the programming behind it to work it, absolutely. I think the yes, no is the easiest way to do it. If you've got the programming behind it, it works. It works, and it works really well. I absolutely love it, because now I can put it under the brand. I can put it under the type of cut. I can even put it under what's new or what's hot, even though I need to clean that up a lot. And the problem with what's new is I forgot when I was adding these products in to the store and when I should take it off the what's new, which is why I added the variable, when did we add it to the site? So hopefully they got that. When you change a URL, don't you use the Google rank of the page? Yes, when you change the URL, but what I was talking about is adding the product URLs, and sometimes it will go and pick it up, but what you want to do is make sure that you have all of your product URLs filled in. The product URL is in the basic Yahoo Store, and it's for the data feed that Yahoo does, and it has the actual product, the page URL of the page, and it's for your data feeds. And I'm going to show you how to update those really fast next week using Excel, because I have this shortcut that I love to use, and I have a lot of shortcuts that I use in the database file. So I'm going to show you how I can add multiple products, all in one shot, and we're actually going to upload multiple products all together for the store for next week's inventory that I get in. Yes, absolutely, Jeanette, contact us and we can figure that out and see what kind of different ones that you have, what would work best, putting them into those different ones. It's almost the same concept as a lot of our store owners have: shop by brand, shop by style, shop by price. The only problem with that is you have to put in the exact thing. So like if we said, let's go to the brand. So if we put in Moda B, because it's a bundle, it's not going to pick it up because if it says Moda. So it has to be exact. That's why I like the yes-no feature. You can even use this to do like sizing. If you were selling clothing, you could do the yes-no feature. Somebody wanted to know about shopping by color. So if I wanted to add to this and really make it fun, I could add every single, let's say I had 10 colors. I could do white, black, red, pink, blue, and then I can look at the fabric and go, okay, yes, it has pink. Yes, it has blue. And yes, it has black. Click on the update button, and it would show those colors, show those products under those colors. So there's really a lot to do with this. Now, Alana said, how do you add a yes-no feature? Well, the first step is going into Catalog Manager and then going into Managing Tables and doing Add New Attribute. And then when it comes to Format, you put in yes, no. Now on the back end of it, this is where it gets a little tricky, but this is where you put in if yes, well if you put if at collection image or if at buy save, or that's the yes no basically, then do this in the programming. So you've got to follow it up behind that. Oh, Russ is saying, when I update the product URLs and publish, certain sections of my store automatically turn the leaf to yes. Any idea why this happens? I've noticed that in a lot of the older stores. So what you can do is download all of the pages that you have, and you can do that, upload, download, and then hit download. And then put in your Excel file, you want to have the IDs, and then put leaf, and then just put no, 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 no on upload that. Try that and see what happens. All right. Doesn't look like we have any more questions, but if you do have questions, you want to wait until next week when we're going to have more time together and do the database upload. That's fine, no problem. If you want to get a hold of me sooner, I got to cut this so I can publish. Okay. If you want to get a hold of me sooner, that's absolutely fine too. And let's go from the current and go. You can email us at support@1c4y.com. I'm also on Twitter. You can catch me on Facebook. If you want ideas for your store, come and talk to me. One of the things I'm going to be starting here probably, hopefully, in the next week, I pushed it back a little bit further because I really wanted it to be really awesome, is now what consultation. And so it's going to go through, okay, let's look at your site, see what keywords we could be working on. Let's see what types of blogs you could be doing, give you ideas for that. Let's look at what kind of things we can do for your Facebook fans, and really go through that concept of taking it and looking at your store and really coming up with some really great ideas for your store. By the way, if you missed our radio show on Monday night, let me go into here, and you go to Ecom Experts, and you can catch it right here, site reviews and e-commerce questions. We talked about some ways that you can use, football's back to get some more customers and to build that social relationship. We were talking about doing a fantasy football league. If you have a lot of male clients, it's a great way for them to get to know you and you to get to know them, and then they start spreading the word and it starts growing. The webinar is all the different webinars. If you go to free webinar, are listed right here. I'm going to change this register now, hopefully later today, to view rebroadcast as soon as that's available, and I'll post that on our blog as well. And then next week, again, we're doing database uploads. Somebody wanted to know when the new life event is going to be. Right now, we're looking at September, I think it was the 18th. Let me double check. September 16th, 17th, and 18th are the new dates we were going to do. We usually do it in August, but what we found is we have a really hard time getting speakers to speak in August because most of them are traveling in August. So we pushed it back to September. That way everybody's home. People are back in school. Yeah, I know the website still says February. I haven't even been able to work on that since I've been back from surgery. So I'm going to have to, next week we're going to be starting it, getting that all set up and start promoting and start getting all the speakers and all that good stuff. So save the date, the weekend of the 18th or whatever it is, we'll have the New Life event. Again, it's 30 webinars, one weekend, all free. If you go to the New Life event, you're looking for some really great education, go there. Go to thenewlifeevent.com. I think there's there's 85 different webinars right now going on through there. So you can actually go in and click on the agenda and be able to view all the different rebroadcasts. And there's some really great stuff, So I'll be changing all of this very, very soon, getting that taken care of and all that good stuff. So make sure you check it out. It's some really great stuff. I just absolutely love it. Oh, that would be wonderful. Yes, Wendy's going to donate a wine kit, and we always look for store owners to donate because this is absolutely free, and you help us stay, to keep the word out and going. All right, that's it for now. Again, if you have any questions whatsoever, I'm going to go ahead and leave this up so you guys can contact us. I do hope I get to see all of you next week when we do database uploads. Because, man, I love that. I love it. I love it. I love it. I can upload 20 products. I can upload 2,000 products with just a click of a button, and I love it. And I'm going to show you how you're going to love it too. So make sure to sign up for that, and I look forward to seeing you then. And until then, have an absolutely wonderful week, and thank you again for joining me today.